Possibly my most frequently asked question is, should I go to college? Or what do you think about college and traditional schooling? I'm really honored that you're interested in my thoughts on this, and I'm excited to share them with you. The first thing that comes to mind is this word, should. I've been making it a point to be really intentional about the language I use, both internally in the thoughts that I'm thinking and externally as I speak. And should has been one of the biggest ones I've been playing around with. This idea that we should do something, it's just really interesting what it brings up. Like this, maybe like obligation and sense of duty or sense of what's right. And I think that a lot of us are raised that way, so it makes sense that we have this word and this feeling in our vocabulary. Should you go to college? I don't know, man. That's your life. You know what's best for you. You're the expert on you. I feel like what I can offer you is my experience and questions that I've asked myself that have been really helpful to guide me in these sorts of situations. And I can also offer you more of my general thoughts and feelings on college and traditional schooling in the US. I think that if you want to go to college, go for it. And if you don't, it's a good time to not set a precedent in your life for doing things that you don't want to do. Because ultimately, we bring about what we put into life and what we're generating. So if you're doing things you don't want to be doing, most likely you're going to keep generating more things that you don't want to be doing. This idea that we have to put in the time and, work and do hard stuff so that we have this magical existence afterwards just hasn't been my experience. What I found is that the more I put ease and excitement and play and fun into my life in every realm, the more I get that back out of it. So when thinking about going to college, I wonder if it would be helpful to ask yourself, does it excite me? And then what parts of it excite me? Is it, being on campus with all these people or being in a new location? Or are there subjects that I'm really interested in learning more about? Do you feel like it's going to add value to your life? Is it worth it to me? This is something I think about a lot. And what I mean by that is the relative energy I'm going to be putting into it worth what I'm going to be getting out of it? And when I think about energy, I think about all elements of it, so including the time I'm putting into it, the resources, money, everything. Would I be making this decision out of fear or a sense of obligation? When I have options I'm considering, and if I simplify them and feel like, okay, one of these is pretty fear-based and one is abundance-based, I've found that it's always worthwhile to go with the abundance-based one so that I keep generating more abundance in my life. What is it I really want to get out of college? What would it be that I'm actually looking for? And more broadly, not college, but like during this time of my life, what is it I'm really looking to get, to gain, to experience? Another way to put this, and one of my favorite questions to ask myself is, what is my ideal? What does my ideal life look like? And if you're contemplating this phase of your life, what do the next 4 years or the next year ideally look like for you? If you could dream without any limitations, what would it look like? What would your experience be like? Where would you be? Who would you interact with? What would you be feeling? And just having some fun with that exercise and feeling out what's there for you can be a really great way to learn more about what you truly desire. And then to play around and see what comes up for you when you desire some of those things. So if you feel like you should go to college but really want to be traveling the world, what is it? Like, do you feel like that's not being responsible? Do you feel like you'd be letting somebody down? Do you feel like you'd be missing an opportunity? Do you feel like, what do you feel? That's the kind of stuff I like to do when I'm contemplating just choosing new things in my life. I used college to my advantage. I wanted to study abroad a lot and learn Spanish, so I took a lot of Spanish classes and I studied abroad 2 of the 4 years. I also really loved writing and reading, so in addition to a major in Spanish, I'm double minored in writing and English. I'm super interested in people and different ways of living. So I took a lot of anthropology classes and cultural anthropology and really enjoyed that. A part of me really felt like I needed a degree. And now what I think about that is I felt more comfortable getting a degree, like it offered me some sort of direction for what I was doing with my life during that time. In hindsight, have I used my degree? Whatever that means. I don't think I needed to have it to do any of the jobs I did. But what does that really mean? I feel like we're all just making decisions, doing what feels best in each moment, and all of it really contributes to where we are right now. The Spanish that I actually learned was during my time studying abroad, and when I really learned it was not in school. It was just interacting with the people I met and became close with. The writing that I did and the growth I felt in my writing and reading and all of those areas was just from my time writing and reading. Because of the time that we live in, we have access to so much information these days. We can really learn anything we want. Something that I've always found particularly fascinating is the people that I would say are most successful in terms of relative happiness and most amount of money earned, if you want to measure it that way for this scenario specifically. Those people that I know didn't go to college, and most of them actually barely made it through high school because they were different, and we're all different, but they really decided not to conform, and they didn't want to do things the way everybody else was doing it. So what they did was totally different, and they developed their creativity and innovation. They had to learn to follow their gut and trust their instincts and know that they knew what was right for them. Through traditional schooling and the workforce and college and all that, I think that we're taught to do things a certain way, the standard way for our society, a lot of the times. It's not to say there aren't free thinkers who are in that system, but I think for the most part, we're really encouraged to follow a template as opposed to checking in and doing things our way. We're graded based on standards that are set for us, not standards that we set for ourselves. There are certain positions in our societies that require a certain amount of schooling to hold. It's been interesting for me to reflect on the fact that the best healers I've come into contact with and the people who have enhanced my health and my life the most aren't Western doctors or physical therapists or people that even hold degrees or certifications, but rather healers who have tapped into what they feel is right for them and followed their own journey and integrated a lot of different areas and schools of thought that they learned and made it their own, and then shared that with the world. As always, I think my take-home point is to tap into what feels right for you and really check in with yourself, see what's there, be playful with it, explore it, have fun. Don't be afraid to do something radically different. Don't be afraid to go to college if that's really what you want. Don't be afraid not to if that's really what you want. Thanks for asking me. Thanks for being interested in what I have to share and for holding this space for me to offer it to you here. I hope that it was of value to you. I'll see you guys next time.